Oh, I think that was nearly perfect time to the end of the song then. I don't think we've ever done that. Welcome back to the Weekly Woof. We're back again, and I will just check my audio is working. No, you can. And we've got someone back today.
Yay, I'm back.
Is back. If you haven't been here before, this is the Weekly Woof. I am Thumper. This is Zael was unfortunately away last week. Lot of work to do. Lovely PhD. Couldn't have really got
It's a
so
union suit.
he got a union suit from Nasty Pig, and I just sort of grabbed it out of the closet because I was like, oh, I haven't got anything else that I haven't worn before the Weekly Woof. I'm slowly going down through all my costumes. Hello, Jan. Hello. Nice to see you on today. So we've got a really fun talk today. One of our friends, someone that I know over a year now. I think we started talking. What would it be? 2019? God, it's got a lot of time. It's been 2021 now. And you've obviously know them as well. It's Pastél. Pastel's talking about relationship. Let's see if we can do this. Hello.
Hi.
Which way?
Oh,
Start.
I said that.
Hello, that way. We always get confused between our left and right.
No, because the camera is mirrored. So every single time that I look this way, I was like,
hello, how are you?
Not bad yourself.
I'm alright. Lockdown. It's normal old stuff, isn't it? But
fun times. You can see that our progression of our costumes is going slowly down.
We're running out of money. That's why. It's not any money anymore. And then also with Brexit going on and everything's going to be inflation. That's not what we're here to talk about.
This is not the topic for today.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't want to be depressed.
So, Pastel, so I've obviously said that we've known each other for quite a long time now,
Yes.
and we've got on quite well, and we've sort of changed quite a lot since. I think we've both changed a lot since each other a long time ago. Do you want to explain yourself, so your pronouns, you are, and also your pronouns? I'm they, them. And
he, him.
He, him.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Nothing changed yet.
Nothing changed. Nothing changed. Hasn't changed in a few about 8 months now. But do you want to explain your pronouns, what you've done, and also you've been doing quite a lot last year. I think talk about what you did last year.
Sure. So, hello. My name is Pastel. I am they, them pronouns. However, if someone calls me he, him pronouns, I don't mind. But I prefer to go by they and them. I've been a pup since 2018, so I suppose in the community I'm still quite new to the whole thing. But yeah, I started in October of 2018, and yeah, I met Thumper in, I think it was just coming towards the end of 2019, early 2020. And he contacted me, getting into my campaign that I started last year. So yeah, do you want me to talk about the campaign, or
yeah, if you like to? I
Yeah.
thoroughly enjoyed the campaign.
Same.
I think we're both featured on the campaign.
I'm
Yes.
day 30 something, I think.
I think I was.
You remember?
I was 3. I think I was
somewhere on my Twitter.
I think I was number 3. I think
You were very, very early on. Yeah.
I can't remember. I think it was Lux was on before me, and I think someone else was on. I think it was you actually. I think you did number 1 or something. I was number 3 or something. Anyway, yeah, explain your campaign. We're just like, oh, look at Lux's numbers.
I just saw the message of Sparky said he still has the video of the squeaky toy. I think a couple of years ago I went to his house just like on a whim, and it was like midnight or something, and I snuck out and I just went to see him, and we ended up just being puppies together. I just saw the comment and it reminded me. But anyway, yeah. So last year I set up a campaign, specifically trying to promote diversity and individuality and stuff like that in the community. Basically, the point it was trying to make was that there is uniquity and diversity in our community, and that it's not as stereotyped. It shouldn't be stereotyped as just being gay white men in pup headspaces and hoods. And so I went on a journey last year to basically get a pup a day every day until the end of the year. So 365 submissions of different pups, all of different diversities and ethnic groups and just and nationalities, and gender and sexualities, to put in this campaign. And the end result was to make a graph which correlated all of the data from the pups that got involved, and distribute that and show that we are a really diverse, a really opening and welcoming and lovely community. And unfortunately, I didn't get to the end of the year. It kind of hit a bit of a roadblock in September, October time, at which point I wasn't quite ready to give up on it. I was determined, so I changed it from being daily to weekly. But I think we got, out of 365, I think we got about 250 to 270 submissions instead. So it was still enough to be able to pull all the results together and get some data together. And yeah, I think it was last week or the week before, I posted the results on Twitter of the campaign, and I was really proud to see the results and see how beautiful the community is. But not only that, I was proud of all the pups that got involved, and the other pets, I should say, because we got more than pups involved. We got bunny, yeah. We got one bunny as well. I think we got a couple of bunnies, a few bunnies. Got dragons, foxes, moo cows,
Okay.
and others. But yeah, it came together and it was really beautiful and it was just gorgeous. And I do have another, not necessarily a campaign, but I have another thing that I'm going to be doing this year. I'm going away from the identity and the diversity campaign, because that was just last year. And instead, I'm going to focus a bit more this year on supporting the people in the community and groups in the community more head on, if that makes sense. And so every 2 months or every 3 months, I'll be donating a sum of money and some other things to a pet play event in the country. And basically, the way that will work is I'll be holding a poll on Twitter with the list of pet play events that decided they wanted to get involved. And it's basically up to the people on Twitter, the community, to decide which group gets the donation each time. And it will, run over every time someone gets selected. It will then run over to the next people. So I think so far I've got 6 events that are on board with this. From the south, I've got your event. Yeah, I've got Pile of Pets
We saw
involved.
that out.
Yeah. So got Pile of Pets involved. I won't say the other events because they might not want me to say their names, which is fine. But yeah, you've got you and 5 other events around the country which are happy to get involved. And yeah, so I'll be looking forward to that. That'll be happening at the end of the month. So keep out for that. You'll see a poll on Twitter very soon.
I get the underground bits before they even come out to it. I got the graphs and charts and everything. It was about a week before Twitter was like, oh, look at this, I've just done this, and I'm like, oh, hello. So I get little sneak peeks every so often, and I get to hear what's doing. I get always excited. I get too excited sometimes. But yeah, and I have to keep it wraps. Me keeping secrets like near impossible, and somehow I keep everything.
You're just a blabbermouth. That's what you are.
I am, but I keep all this. I've not said anything about Pastél doing all this. So. I haven't. I've been quite good.
No, you've been good. You've been.
I've been good. I've been very very discreet. So the other thing, as you said, you've been in a long time, done a lot for the community in very short time as well. It's nice to see you grow and grow with you as well, because we've both sort of taken different paths, but we've both done stuff that helps the community. It's really nice. It's always nice to check in. Always like chatting. But the other thing is that obviously that's come with a lot of positives. You want to explain like one of your positives that's come out of being a pup and being in the Kink and Fetish world?
So the positives for me personally getting involved in the community. Honestly, there are quite a few positives, and if I'm going to be honest, I would say if it wasn't for our community, I wouldn't be where I am in front of this camera right now, obviously. But I wouldn't even be in this house. So the community has provided a lot of well, it basically provided sanctum when I was in need. It really helped me out. The positives would include my being engaged to my fiance Scruff, who is also a pup. And yeah, so if it wasn't for the community and being part of pup play, I wouldn't have met my fiance. I wouldn't have met people in my past relationships. And whilst we are parted, all of them have provided me with life lessons. All of them positive, all of them lovely. So I've learned a lot from people in the community. I've met a lot of lovely people, including yourselves. Made friends, lots of friends, and just yeah, it's just been brilliant. Really, I can't really think of anything else other than the fact that my laptop is about to die, so I need to plug it in.
Quickly plug it in.
I'm sorry.
All right.
That's okay.
We'll go on a quick interlude to just us two talking, because it's always good when it's just us two talking
right?
while Pastel sorts that out. So yeah, we forgot to say congratulations.
No, I said congratulations to Scrap ages ago.
I said so. I've known Scruff's an amazing female within the
It's fine.
community, and
It's
especially
okay to
around
say
our
Scrap likes me better.
community.
You can't everyone. Not everyone can be her favorite, so it's fine.
But yeah, it's really nice. And Kashmir's allowed relationship grow, and that's sort of the discussion we've got here. So,
I know it ties in very well with the.
does.
It's like we planned this.
I know it is. It might not look like we planned this, but we do.
Yeah.
So I think this is plugged in. I think it's plugged back in. Oh,
Yay.
you're back again. It's back.
So I think the next question would be
Yep.
right. The next question would be that obviously you have a lot of positives coming out of the community, but we all struggle a little bit from time to time. And you know, what were kind of some of the struggles that you found on your way through your journey in the community, and how did you kind of overcome them? Because I think that's important for people.
Just trying to think now. I think initially when I joined the community, I'd only recently just came out in two different ways. I'd only recently just came out of a relationship, and I'd only recently just came out as homosexual. And my family and everything were really supportive and lovely, but it kind of put a bit of a dampener on the old noggin. And I think it's been a bit of a weird one in terms of being part of the community and exploring myself sexually and you know, with gender and everything. It's been a bit of a difficult ride. I feel like I've kind of been spun off quite a few times, not necessarily because of the fault of the community or pup play, definitely not, because it's helped me out, but I think because I kind of threw myself headfirst into the community after only just coming out about half a month before joining it. It kind of sent me on a downward spiral, and I would say that's the negative I've had. I think any other negatives that I've possibly had, I don't know. It's pretty hard because I've had a really good time so far.
It's okay to say that you just had a good time and you don't have any negatives, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I mean, like it's the same as pretty much anything in day-to-day life as well. You know, there's always the drama and there's always the gossip.
Always
and
the
there's
tea.
always,
Where's
you
the
know,
tea? Where's the
the
tea?
tea. You know, it's always scolding. But
Piping hot,
you know,
darling. Piping hot.
but I don't really get involved with it too much. If anything, I try to stay far away from it. But
We try to. We don't choose to be in it.
yeah, I mean,
I don't choose.
I don't choose to be in it, but when I'm in it, I'm not gonna stand back. I'm not gonna let someone trample. But yeah, I can quite.
there isn't many like negatives that I could think of being in the community. It's been been fairly good, to be honest.
Yeah, I think the jumping head person also, I sometimes different gender, white male, what could feel like a very cis white male dominated space, being anything apart from that. But being anything apart from that, especially when you're trying to come to terms with not being cisgendered, can be quite strugglesome. Want to fit in, want to be a part of this community, enjoy being part of the community. It's hard trying to match those up and marry those up and go, well, I like being a part of the community. I don't need to conform to what everyone else like. If I know that I am not cisgendered, I'm genderqueer, non-binary, or transgendered, whatever, you don't need to feel like you need to fit in, be your own self, be your own image. Like, there's no point of your old identity is diversity. Identity is diversity. Just be you. Don't worry about what everyone else is doing. Be you. Be as comfortable.
And like,
oh my god, that sounded.
I know, and you know, at some point it kind of becomes sadly a trial and error. There's no,
there's no fit.
Yeah, there's no fit way for you to enter the community. You just kind of try what you like. If you don't like it, then you try something else. I mean, for me, it's less extreme because I didn't go through, you know, finding my gender, but
I didn't want to.
I went from straight. I did this cliche thing where I went. You know, I thought I was bisexual before I was gay, and I had a girlfriend at the time, so that was a really interesting. She's lesbian now. It's a great story. We basically made each other gay. But you know, it's kind of a struggle, and it's important to say that if you think you're a specific, you know, gender or a specific sexuality, and you find that actually something else fits you a lot better, you shouldn't be afraid to explore that avenue too. You shouldn't feel like, oh, you have one choice and that's, you know, you come out once and that's the only thing that you can do. That's not how life works.
Sorry for the tech. Someone's shouting down the mic as usual. And I'm whispering as usual because when he starts shouting, I start whispering. It's sort of counterproductive to the audio that we've got in this house.
Where the audio is, when I speak normally, I'm in green, and when you whisper, you're in red.
Oh no, I'm shouting now because I'm like, ah!
Your mic is turned up to. I don't know.
You're not technology.
I get your point. Like, I mean, when I initially joined the community, it's like I said, I thought I was gay. I was pretty convinced that I was gay, but then I met someone. I met a female in the community about a year ago, maybe just over a year ago. Yeah, definitely. Just I keep thinking it's 2020.
It's not. It's not, darling. It's 2021.
It would be 2 years ago now, and I didn't realize that I had an attraction to females, and then it was quickly afterwards, after developing more friendships and stuff like that, that I realized that I'm actually pansexual. And you know, it's always you know an amazing adventure in finding yourself in this community. Definitely. But not just in the community, but just in life as well. You kind of just discover things by yourself.
So I would also like to say hello. We've got hello Peter, hello Ace, nice to see you. We're hopefully going to be. I think I've sorted out the sound issues. Hopefully you can hear me a little bit better now, and I'm not echoing. So we'll learn a bit more about Pastél. Also, that was a really nice thing by Oscar Wilde. Oscar Wilde.
Oh yeah, in Reading.
Was imprisoned here for
beautiful
I believe was it. They called it at that time, so technically just gay. And one of his things it said is, "Be yourself. Everyone else is taken." So we're going to go on to our game now. So we've tried to up the quality of our game today. We've added sound and we've added some little fancy things. So
why are you talking when you could just show them?
Well, I just think it's just nice to explain what's going on. But ready?
I don't know if we're supposed to.
Can talk if you want.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Uh,
What are you doing?
no, I keep cutting the audio out.
Stop touching things. See,
This is what we don't
need
plan
tech,
this.
We need tech support. That's what we need. I don't actually know how loud the audio is for people, so I don't know if. Oh, perfect. Hi.
It
If
should
you're
be
gonna hear
quiet.
us, sorry.
The problem is that I didn't have time to sort out our audio, so it's blaring down our headphones. But it's absolutely
It's fine.
fine.
We found this little clip of and I was dancing around the kitchen. I was like, yes, we can finally have a game show. So for everyone that is tuning in for the first time, we always kind of have a small game within the middle of our show, and we always try to make it a little bit different. So this week's game is called Endangerment because the game that it's based on, Jeopardy. Well, we can't use that game because it's copywritten. So you know, there it is, the worst version of it, really. So the point of the game is really easy. You have 12 questions in 4 different categories based on the, based on different topics. And you basically turn around questions and you answer them. And if you answer them correctly, you get a certain monetary compensation. It's going to be hypothetical because we're poor. So sorry, Pastél, you're not going to be getting any money.
That's fine.
You're going to give us money, isn't that right? Is that the whole point of your campaign in the future?
Oh my god.
So for the amount of money that you lose, you have to give us that money back, basically.
Oh sure. Okay.
So it's an
Right,
incentive for you.
Is that how it's being done? There we go. Someone just said, "Can Zael be the price?"
Of course, I'm always the prize. If anyone wants to win me, please, I'm waiting.
Single and available.
Yeah, on the topic of relationships.
So when it's single and available, it's now turned into a dating show. Blind dates. We're going to get some people on, and we're going to show some
Naked
people up.
attraction?
Naked attraction.
Maybe not on Facebook.
Maybe not on Facebook. No, maybe not on Facebook. But we're gonna. So if we can go on to the next slide, we're going to. We've got different categories.
Oh, we can't see the categories.
We can't see the categories. We've just covered everyone up. But this is how good our quality of animation is. So the first one, the first column, which is covered by Pastel's lovely face, is Dom and Sub. The second one is polyamory. The third one is friendship, you see, and the one covered by our ugly faces is is general kink and fetish. So we've got Dom and Sub, polyamory, friendship, kink and fetish. You get to choose 10.
10. Are we doing 10?
We're going to do 10, and then we'll see what time we get. Because you know what we're like? We try and say 20, and then it ends up being the end of the show. We haven't got time to talk about anything else.
This is what happened last time.
This is what happened last time. Yeah, because you didn't control me. But we're going to go through them, so you can pick any one. So you can pick, tell me what money and what column. So
theoretically, it's harder with the amount of money, but let's be honest, I don't think that we planned it that well.
We didn't really. We tried to make them hard, but
right. So you want me to choose a cash sum on a column?
Yes.
Right. I choose. I'm going to be difficult. No, I'll choose 400 polyamory.
400 polyamory. So if I click it, it should do something. Oh, look at this. And there's even music. Yes. Listen to this.
The question is, are all partners within a polyamorous relationship committed to each other?
Are all partners within a polyamorous relationship committed to each other? Now, hold on a second. Yes. I'm going to say yes.
Oh,
okay.
What's the answer?
So answers it depends.
It can depend, right? Okay.
Yeah.
There's a little ding in there. It really put me off balance.
You do realise the ding is there every time.
No,
so.
you confused the hell out of me.
Yeah, I think it depends on. Well, I wrote the question, so in my opinion, this is just my opinion, but in my opinion, it depends on the relationship because you can have something like a throuple, for example, where everyone is in a committed relationship with each other, and everyone is in one big relationship, hence a throuple. Or you can have something like separate polyamorous relationships. We have a friend who is in a polyamorous relationship with 2 different people, However,
Okay.
those two people are not in a relationship with each other. They're just in a relationship with that person.
Okay.
Goes up to- They don't. They don't
We should
need
have
to-
diagrams. That's what we should.
have so yes. I muted myself. If people don't understand what polyamory is that I forgot that people might not know what polyamory is.
you should define it.
Polyamory is the romantic
Ability to feel romantic
feelings for more than one
Yeah.
one or more people, more than one person. Sorry. So
So you
in
can be
terms-
in love with more than one person. Basically, you don't have to be in a.
I tried to make the good dictionary definition, and I tried to recall the definition, and I was like, I'm getting confused with all the definitions, and they're all coming to my head. I was like, it's not the one I want. But yeah, it's
So, what exactly would you say then is the difference between being polyamorous and polygamous?
I mean, this is also a question.
This is all a question.
If you choose one of the other polyamory questions, we can talk about it.
I get it.
If not, we'll discuss afterwards, and we'll make sure that we note that down.
It's definitely on the
Yeah, 'cause
agenda.
there's a difference between polygamous and polyamory. Polyamory is more of the love and the romantic.
Thank you for explaining what the question is.
It won't be, but and polygamous is a bit different. It won't help him. It won't help him. It won't. Oh, I've broken it. I've broken the slides. It's not going back.
Why?
Oh,
Oh, there
it's
we
gone
go.
back. Oh God.
Oh, perfect. So the
I don't know how to.
polyamory for 400s has gone away. As you haven't said, it depends. I'm sorry, but you've lost $400 and we've gained $400. We'll send you the bank details later.
I lost.
The next one. So, which one would you like to choose next?
I'm gonna choose friendship 600.
Okay.
Oh God, that's so bad. We're like, oh, how do we connect friendship? So can you talk to your friends about your sexual problems? I think that's a big.
I mean, if they're comfortable with it, then yes. If they're not comfortable, then no. It completely depends on their comfort level.
There we go. You got it right. Oh God, that ping. I hate that ping. It's gonna scare me all day. It depends. Like you said, communication is key. If they don't want to talk about it and they're not comfortable talking about it, then we don't talk about it. But if they're comfortable talking about it, and you've communicated that you're both happy to that level of a relationship, that different type of relationship, where you're open of talking about your sex life with each other, then fine. So that's how much?
That's 600. You don't have to pay out
So
£600.
So we've got to
Yeah,
pay.
right.
We've got to pay now past the 200.
Is this a tug of war?
It is a tug of war. We're going to see who wins at the end of the time. So which one would you like to choose next?
What's the one behind my mug?
Dom and sub.
Dom and sub. Okay, I'll go for Dom and sub 200.
Sub 200.
Does a dom-sub relationship have to be romantic?
In my opinion, it doesn't. In my opinion, it doesn't.
No. Perfect. Yeah,
You owe me 400.
so a dom and sub relationship can be kink exclusive, or it also can be friendly, or it can be romantic. It depends on the situation, but it doesn't have to be romantic. You don't have to be involved with the person to have a dom and sub relationship.
Again, I think communication is key. If you want to take your dom and sub relationship to a romantic level, or you're in a romantic relationship and you want to also have a dom and sub relationship, have communication. If you just want to be friendly, communication. Sometimes I think it's always best when it's friendly and you get on, but sometimes it's very much like some people come in, do a scene, leave, come back next week, do a scene, leave, come back, and it's very much only in that short period of time, and that's happy. If you're both consensual and you're both comfortable with that relationship, then it's fine. I always like being friends with my doms or subs, just to make sure that we have a good level of understanding. I understand what they're feeling all the time.
I don't think I would be comfortable with being dommed by a stranger, I think. Unless I've gotten to know them a little bit beforehand. I think it's just a matter of, for example, for me, it's a matter of comfort. I like to get to know a person. I'm more
Yeah.
attracted to a person that I know that I am to a stranger. So. But it's different for a lot of people. Some people feel very comfortable being, and for some people, it's actually more attractive to be done by someone that they don't know than by someone.
Mm.
It's
So,
comfortability.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose for like a rule of thumb, it's similar to like normal life. I suppose if you don't know if someone wants to be dominated or subbed by you or them, whatever, go by the rule of thumb of you should treat them how you would want to be treated. So, if they don't know if they want to be dommed, think to yourself, okay, if I was in their position, would I want to be dommed? No, then I'm not going to. If I would want to get dommed, then I would ask them and, you know, just be honest. I suppose it's like you say, communication. It's the most important thing.
Definitely, it's all communication. All right, someone's leaving. Thank you very much for joining us. Hope you join us
Take
next
care.
time. Okay. Sparky was saying if we haven't counted before, accept the amount of snugs we did.
Fine. Sparky just likes to snug. I
He
get.
does,
I'm,
yeah,
I'm
he just
taking
snugs.
from that. It's
Yes,
yeah,
snuggles.
Yeah. He does. He's very snuggly.
Yes.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we can't do any snuggles. Anyway, next one. Which one would you like to do next?
What's the one underneath you again?
Oh, that's
General Kink and Fetish.
General Kink and Fetish.
This way.
Okay.
Oh,
I'll go for General Kink and Fetish 400.
So down there.
400.
There.
400.
400.
Does having a fetish make someone perverted?
No, it does not. But I suppose if you talk to someone who's very conservative, then they would think so.
No, having a kink and fetish isn't negative. It's not something to be frowned upon. There's nothing wrong with having a kink and fetish as long as it is safe and consensual. One thing that we will say is the word perverted has been reclaimed by some people in the kink and fetish community. Last week we had International Fetish Day, and the motto that they use for International Fetish Day is perverts for purple, or purple for perverts. Purple for perverts, that's the way.
Yeah.
Purple for perverts. And because they reclaimed the word perverts because it was used in a derogatory term towards people in kink fetish, like the words queer and other derogatory terms have been used against other LGBTQ.
It's about taking away the negative connotations and claiming the word for yourself.
Totally. We're going to get on because we're going to be here all day. I'm worried about time, but I'm looking at it going,
it's fine.
Okay.
We have ages. We're already
we've got
nearly half.
fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'll go for Friendship 200.
Ooh.
Oh wow. Yeah. Okay. That's me. I was like, so can someone in the LGBTQ plus community be friends with someone without having sex?
Yes.
Yay! I get frustrated. So a lot of if people have known us, well, Thumper and me for quite a while, I get quite frustrated because once upon a time in the medieval ages, we did have a bit of a sexual relationship. But since then, we kind of grew out of, well, at least but we have a pretty platonic relationship at the moment, and we don't do anything sexually or kink wise. And it always frustrates me when because we're such good friends, because we're such good friends, everyone always assumes that either we're together or we just sleep with each other all the time.
Or we're married.
Everyone
thinks we're married.
Yes, everyone
We
thinks
are
we're married.
married.
So it's
We beat you
great,
to it.
and
We
it's
beat
a
you to it,
great.
Pastél.
Yeah, sorry, we've been married for 20 years now.
We're not married.
Wow.
We're not married couple. It's
Yeah.
the knee touching. It's the knee touching.
But it's great. It's great when it's said the first 10 or 20 times. Once I've heard it 200 times, it gets a little bit boring. Especially me as, again, advertising myself, a young gay single man. Yes, please help me. Can
Can we have a sign? Can I make a sign?
Yeah, I should have gotten one.
Single,
Yeah,
single,
date
single.
me, please. But it gets a little bit frustrating, and it's also frustrating. What are you doing? It also gets frustrating when you assume that people can't have a healthy friendship without any kind of undertone. It's the same for any. It's not just in the LGBT community. I found that people don't believe that, for example, within straight circles, girls and guys can't have a healthy relationship because suddenly there's flirting and something going on between them.
And at the end of the day, is that if you want to have friends with benefits, and that's how you want to do your friendship, that's totally fine as well. But it doesn't have to be. I think it's too often when someone us to have known each other for ages, we've had the sex period, but now we're just really, really good friends. Is that impression that if someone's really good friends, they must be having sex with each other, or that the thing is that a lot of the time when
sorry,
bless you.
but also the idea of he just wants to sleep with me, they just want to sleep with me, she just wants to sleep with me. It's like, well, some people just want to be friends. It's not all about sex, and I think sometimes it does get a little bit misconstrued. But yeah, if you want to have a healthy friends with benefits, also works. I have a few of that, and it's sometimes quite nice. A few.
You're compiling a list at this point. I can have a phone book.
Wow.
And sorry, I'll just add something. And it's even more prevalent, I think, in the kink and as you don't only have the idea within the community, but also outside that kink and fetish has to be sexual, and everyone is hypersexual within kink. And everyone has to have the moment you say kinky on any app or like publicly, suddenly everyone thinks that you're ready to sleep with everyone, and that's all you think about. And I think that's something.
Assumptions are the worst enemies sometimes, aren't they?
It's like nowadays. Now I've got pretty much quite. So there's sometimes where I've met people and I'm like, oh, I'm interested in you. You're quite cute, or you're attractive, whatever, and flirt. And then sometimes it's like, oh, I'm not really interested in you, and I'll still, you know what I mean. I'm quite a flirtatious person, but I'll never.
Yes.
Yes. But the thing is, there's a lot of people I won't really take it much further, because at the end of the day, it's like, oh, like with probably know what I'm talking about. Yes. I just had to check that. How we're now really good friends. We talk about business together. We talk about how we run our events, and we have a really great discussion. We work really well together, and we're starting to build a really good business, but also good friendship together, where it is no way related in the sex. We still follow each other and like each other's posts on Twitter that are sexual, but we're both doing that as a form of support rather than from a form of, oh, we want to sleep with each other, because we just want to support each other, keep each other happy, and help each other succeed, because we're both starting out. But yeah, things can change, people can change, and it doesn't have to be all sexual.
Relationships evolve, whatever relationships you have, but relationships evolve and you adjust.
They evolve.
Touching me. That's enough touching for today.
Not touchy. So what would you like for your next one?
Go for oh, I've forgotten what one was under me again. I've got such a
Dom and sub.
Are you going to fix my OCD now, please?
Why? Oh, the okay. No.
Damn it.
I'm gonna go for Dom and Sub 600.
Yes, you fixed my OCD. It's like a nice
It's a cross
pattern when
pattern.
when you yes. So how can you ensure that the power dynamic within a relationship remains healthy?
One word. Communication. And another one, trust, obviously.
Oh,
and honesty. 3 words. Communication, trust, and honesty.
So yeah, you got well, I think honesty is also true. I think mutual respect and honesty are quite similar. So you got 3. Congrats. But yeah, I think 4 words, well, 5 words, but 4 different phrases. Trust, communication, consent, and mutual respect. It's the same. It's the same with every relationship. It's not just, dom and sub. It's every relationship that you're in. You have to trust a person. You have to respect a person. There has to be communication always, and there has to be consent, especially within, playing situation and scene, but also outside. You have to have consent for things, and if you don't feel comfortable, then you also have to have a right to withdraw that consent.
Yeah.
butt in quickly there with so I think it's been announced publicly on the government has released a bit more clarification on domestic abuse in the terms of if you feel like you're in a situation where it's no longer sensual and you feel like you are a victim of, you are worried and you need help, especially because lockdown, you haven't got any safe spaces, you can't go to the local bar or anything. You can go to the local pharmacy, mainly, if it's mainly pharmacy, and say a certain word. I won't, I'm not sure. You can easily Google it. It's all on the papers and it's all on the government website. And just say pharmacy word for domestic abuse, and you'll have it. It's like Angel for when you're in bars. This one is a little bit different. I won't say it just because I want to try and keep it not secret,
confidential.
but confidential.
You know.
But it's definitely, go check it up. It's on the government website. It's on a lot of papers. It's circulating quite easily for you. So just have a look, and they'll be there. For some reason, it says your internet connection or is our one.
Oh, it's fine. No, that will be on our end.
Our end. We've got a poor internet connection.
We need to sort out that.
Get better
Yes.
Wi-Fi.
Either way,
rely on Wi-Fi.
Well, our Wi-Fi is awful anyway. What would you go for? What would you go for the next one?
I will go for Friendship 400.
Can you only have one best friend?
Yes. No. You can have more than one best friend. Of course you can.
I was staring you down there. I was like, ooh. Oh god.
Yeah, and definitely you can have several very close or best friends, which will fill you emotionally, not just. And I think that's a very important thing to make. You don't have to have one person that is going to have to, sort you out emotionally completely. You can have a couple of people who are going to, help you out with different aspects of your life, and yeah, that's absolutely okay. You don't have to rely on one person. I know a lot of times I don't feel like it's also fair to rely on one person because that becomes a little bit strenuous. Yeah, but you rely on a lot of other people. Talk to a lot of other people, like you come to me.
You're my only best friend.
Why? Find other ones.
I don't know why. But also, it's not bad not to have a best friend. If you don't have
absolutely.
one, it doesn't matter. There's other people. You can have loads of friendships. You can have a really healthy romantic relationship, whatever. As long as you feel happy in what you're doing, you don't need to have a best friend. And often, a lot of people say, "Oh, they're my best friends," but it's not reciprocated, which is sometimes can be a lot worse and more negative.
Your best friend doesn't have to be here. Sometimes.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're my dog best friend.
Fine.
Which one should I choose next?
I resign myself to dying alone with 6 cats. I'm already preparing. Continue, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Don't worry. I think I'm gonna go for polyamory 600.
Ooh, okay. What's the difference between polyamory and consensual non-monogamy, which is what we were going to talk about either way?
You want me to answer that?
Yes.
Polyamory and consensual non-monogamy.
So
was
it polyamory and polygamy?
Polyamory, yeah, polygamy and polygamy. Well, I would say the first thing, I don't have an answer for this. I'm not familiar enough with the topic to give an answer. But when you say non-monogamy, the one thing that comes into my mind is threesomes, if it's talked to between the two partners, and open relationships, possibly. But just because you're in an open relationship doesn't always mean it's constantly open. It can be closed and then it can open again like a door. But yeah,
in and out.
I don't have an answer for that one, unfortunately.
Yeah, so
I would
Yeah,
to my
so
echoes.
so it's kind of the gist of the idea is that polyamory is a type of non-monogamous relationship.
Yeah, makes
However,
sense.
however, as we've started saying before, polyamory a little bit. Polyamory is more about, you know, feeling romantic feelings for a couple of people, not just one person.
Yeah.
So it's more about building an actual deeper connection with the person. Whereas there are other types of non-monogamous relationships, like you said, which are open relationships or having playing together, for example, that can be just sexual or kink related. They don't actually have to involve any other feelings with another person. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think that you actually described it really, really well.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Right, should we move on to the next one?
Yeah, I'm
Is
trying
there-
to click. I'm trying to click, but it's not working. You got
You're
2
just
more.
not doing good enough.
I'm
You're
not
just not
doing
doing
the
good
my
Speed
enough.
round,
fingers
2
won't
more
work.
speed round.
Okay, go quickly. Next one.
Okay.
Go, 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 go.
I will take my time.
Respect.
I'm gonna go for general kink and stuff. 600.
Oh, are kinks and fetishes rooted in a power dynamic?
Oh, I'm gonna
Dum, dum,
say,
dum, 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 dum,
in my
dum, dum.
opinion, they can be, but not necessarily are, but they can be.
Yeah, absolutely correct. Oh, I like that ding now.
Ding
It
doo.
was perfectly for a
Ding-doo.
good answer. So yeah, fetish itself can be a power. It can't be a power dynamic because it's an attraction to an object. You can't have a power dynamic.
Oh,
But
object, clothing, item. It's sort of like
it's an attraction to
clothing. Yeah.
yeah. And although most kinks are derived from a power dynamic, they don't have to. They don't have to have one.
No.
They don't
Don't
have,
have
to
to
have
be.
it. Yeah, they don't have to be. So, for example, pup play. You know, pup play has
You
had.
are out of ever Dom and Subsea 80 progressed into a form of self-expression, escapism. So no longer you've got this point of no longer got this point of how it needs to be. Oh, you need to have a master. Or you need to have a dominant. Oh, I'm just.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just going to sort my mind. All going all funny. It leaves 1 week and then it all goes plots. So what would you like for your next one?
Oh, you got all the easy ones left.
I'll go for row 1, 400.
Go and sub 400. There we go. So, what titles could you use to address a dom in a scene?
Well, there are multiple titles.
Absolutely.
So it could completely depend. Like you could say master, sir, mister. I've had one person asked to be called Lord before. You got
Lord
things like-
Pastél! Lord Pastél!
no, not me. Someone else asked to be called that, and that's pretty much where I was like, okay.
But do you know that I'm now going to refer you all the time as Lord Pastél?
Yeah,
Lord Pastél, thank you.
your nickname is being changed. You should prepare that for your Twitter. Just change it now.
Lord Pastél.
The Lord Pastél.
The Lord Fluff. And then of course you got things like Daddy and stuff like that, depending if you want to move into that kind of power dynamic.
Are you ejaculate? What's that face for?
The Lord Fluffington.
Oh, that's adorable.
That is now Pastel's new name.
Yes.
The Lord Fluffington.
Either way.
Yeah, sorry. Oh.
Yeah, so I put on a couple of examples on the screen.
Yep.
So you can have a sir, a master for female presenting individuals. You can have a ma'am or a mistress. You also can have a boss, dom, handler, alpha, which are a little bit more gender neutral.
And Lord.
And Lord, apparently.
And Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Sire.
Baron and Baroness. You never know.
You never know.
But I think I mean one important thing to note is I think you have a little bit of the same struggle with sub.
So I have a struggle
titles.
with.
No.
was just saying that I can do. Well, I don't know if you have the same opinion, but I have very many times being sub or being dominant is finding a gender neutral term for it, for a term for me to use. So a lot of the time when I puppy headspace, a lot of time I'll ask for good pup instead of good boy, but
Yeah.
somehow it doesn't really hit the same ring.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It seems a bit flat. So then that has a bit of struggle. As sub is fine. That's but sir and mum, boss, they all have quite a
Gendered feel.
gendered feel to it.
I guess alpha is good.
Alpha's okay, but if don't want to be
Pup.
a dom pup, then you haven't really got or handler unless in the terms of a general BDSM relationship, apart from sir and
No,
mum.
boss can also be gender
But boss and dom can be gender neutral, but it's not really like it's not got the same ring as sir. It's not a very formal aggressive tone.
And in some cases, you do want to have there are different dom sub relationships. So a boss relationship can be a bit different in a scene than a sir or a master, because a master is typically a master slave relationship, which it wouldn't be what a boss is or a handler is. And it's a little bit, I think it's a little bit hard sometimes for gender non-conforming people to act in it, because they have to have a gendered name in a specific. What are you going to call yourself?
I end up just using sir or good boy because at the end of the day, it's the easiest to do. Sometimes I might ask for mum or good girl if I'm feeling a bit more feminine in gender that day, and I'm a bit more towards that spectrum. But generally, I'll just use good boy. Closest thing. I think we could do two more, and then unless you want to talk a bit more, or I like this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have
game, but I don't mind.
Should we do one more?
Yeah, let's do. I mean, we have there are easy ones, so let's just do it.
Clear the boards. We'll just rush through them.
Yeah.
Okay, polyamory 200. Oh, you've already gone for it. Never mind.
Polyamorous people are more more at risk of an STI.
I think
True or false?
at risk of an STI. It's not like based on the amount of people, is it? If it was based on the amount of people, in which case you would be able to stereotype and say, oh well, sex workers have a lot of sex, so they're gonna get an STI. But it's not the case. It depends on how well protected you are. It's got nothing to do with the amount of people.
But oh god, that ring has gone through me. So sex with a number of people does increase your risk, but doesn't mean that you will get an STI. If you are safe and you get tested regularly, you lower your risk, but doesn't mean that you're
risk-free.
You're risk-free. It doesn't mean that your risk will be different. Your risk will still be different from someone being safe and testing regularly who has one or two people compared to someone who's got 10 or 15. The risk is more weight to someone who's 10 or 15, but doesn't mean they're going to get STI. But also the thing is that in polyamorous relations, that's without polyamorous relationship or monogamous relationship, it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that being polyamorous doesn't mean that you're having sex with multiple people. You can be in a closed relationship.
Well, you have sex with
multiple people, but in a random people. You have a sex with a few people, close relationship, and you all have interactions with each other. Therefore, the risk is considerably lowered in closed relationship. Open non-monogamous relationship.
Basically, if you have sex, if you're in a monogamous relationship but you have sex with a lot of strangers, then you're more at risk than if you're in a poly relationship that is closed and you only have sex with those people.
Pretty much. And the problem we have is that that's not really recognised by people, because they're currently in the UK with the blood ban, in terms that anyone who's having sex with more than one person, no matter if it's closed or open, is considered as being risky. So even though I could be in a close relation with two other people, I could not donate blood, even though I was getting tested regularly and I ensured that I was only sleeping with those two people, and those two people are only sleeping with within
That group.
I still can't donate blood
Yeah.
because I'm still deemed as being risky, even though we
You know,
have.
you're in a committed relationship.
Yeah.
It's not like that relation is for 2 weeks. You can be in a committed relationship for 6 months as a polyamorous.
Even if I've been in
person.
for it for 5 years, if I've been in 5 years, been tested, never had an STI, because I've always been in this closed group with this relationship for 5 years, I still won't be able to donate blood because I'm
Yeah.
deemed as being risky, which is, I think, is still appalling standards and doesn't recognise the idea of polyamory. Anyway, that's my moan over. We'll do the last one.
Go for it.
Can you be a pup without a handler?
Yes, I was for a very long time. I was a stray pup, and
Yeah, and you're right. You can be a pup without a handler. Some people like to be dominant as a pup, actually, which is an alpha. Some prefer kind of being a lone wolf or a stray characteristic. Or some of okay. Or some people like to be in in a pack that it doesn't make you a pup. Gear doesn't make you a pup. A relationship doesn't make you a pup. Only your mindset makes you a pup. And if you want to be
yes.
a pup, then you can be a pup. It doesn't matter. You know, if anyone, I had a couple of instances where I was chatting to a couple of pups, and they told me, oh, I just want to. I don't feel like I'm a pup if I'm not in a relationship. I have to have a handler. I just feel like it's so integral to me. And in my opinion, it's like. I mean, I'm joking. I mean, I'm joking about being desperate. Let's be honest. But you know, I would never feel like I have to be in a relationship, because for me, that's a little bit of a toxic mindset. If you force yourself into a relationship just because you feel like you have to be in that relationship to identify, or to, you know, be yourself or be part of a group, then, you know, how do you ensure that a relationship is really good for you if it's a fine relationship to be in, or is it just a relationship that you made yourself to be in?
Mm.
You know, it's a dangerous situation to a dangerous game to play, because you get yourself
Yeah.
in situations where you don't really want to be there, but you feel like you have to be because you have to be in that relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. Sorry, I realised that because I did all these. Well, we did this fancy thing with the slides. I couldn't go onto the game slide for the end, and I was like, ah! So I had to go. I had to crawl on the floor. But pup play is great for this. It teaches you how to crawl on the floor safely.
Except for when you bust your knees.
When I bust, my knees were busted before that was rugby. But yeah, I wanted to have a quick discussion with you, and we've talked about a lot of relationships, but I think there's one type of relationship that we haven't come across, which also you're in, and I feel I don't know, I've heard this before with I don't know if I've heard this around you, and I've heard you talk about this as well. Being being non-binary or being gender non-conforming, and in a relationship, I feel sometimes you can get the phrase that people don't understand that, and generally just use the term, oh, I don't know if they use the term stuff would go, oh, your boyfriend or your
Girlfriend.
or girlfriend. And there's a lot of the use of husband and wife, and then people say, oh, you're in a straight relationship, even though you're not, you're non-gender conforming, so you can't be in a straight relationship because you're not male and female. I don't know if you could maybe enlighten that, give a bit of education to people.
Yeah.
I haven't really been in a relationship that much when being.
Well, no, you were
non-binary.
always kind of in a relationship. Well, yes, but you were always relationship with people that would present production. So you wouldn't have a issue. You well, yeah. Yes, Pastél, please.
Um, Basically, like, when it comes to me and Scruff, we are very we I don't know, it's hard to explain, but essentially the way it works is there is no kind of title or anything assigned to who we are to each other. if we talk about each other, we mainly call ourselves or call each other my partner rather than my fiance or my boyfriend or my girlfriend, husband, wife. It's just a thing that we've kind of warmed to and started calling each other is my partner instead. So that's the one thing that we do when it comes to, addressing the pronouns within the titles. When it comes to our relationship, we have been, I don't know what the word is. We have been kind of like stigmatized occasionally for being pansexual and non-binary for me, but being in a hetero relationship, we've been called things like just, oh, you're just straight, or oh, you're breeders and stuff like that. And it's like, no, because the way our
Hi,
relationship,
Erasure. Sorry, I had to shout that.
but like the way our relationship works is we are committed to each other, and we'll always be committed to each other because we love each other. And that's what the relationship is about. It's about love. And we know for a fact that we wouldn't ever engage in a relationship with other people. However, we would engage in possible dynamics with other people or have play with other people. And we have done in the past. And it's worked out, but we just make sure that it's talked about and communicated. And if we are going to play with someone, we never do it individually, we do it together, and it just makes the relationship stronger. But it just proves that whilst on face it would just look like a boy and a girl, a man and a woman together in public, behind closed doors it's actually a non-binary person, a female, both of them are pansexual, both of them are in a committed relationship, but they do play and have dynamics with other people. They're just not in relationships with other people. And that's the thing we always stress about, is we would never go into a relationship with others, but we definitely do dynamics with others, because there is a difference. And dynamics in of themselves, whilst can be classed as a relationship, because they are, dynamics aren't as close as a conventional relationship for us, but they're close in their own unique kind of way. So yeah,
it's essential non-monogamy. It's the terms
Yeah.
of that you can go around and meet other people, but you're not engaging in another romantic relationship with anyone
No.
else. You're in a closed romantic relationship, but open to play with each other in a sexual capacity with other people.
Or kink capacity.
Or kink capacity.
Yeah.
Yes.
As long as it's with each other.
Well, as long as with each other.
As long as we're doing it as a couple.
And I think there's a lot of stigma. I started to use the word partners. It can get very confusing. But a lot of time people say, "Oh, boyfriend or girlfriend," and then it really does start knocking you down, I feel sometimes. But also, when you say the word partner, they're like, "Oh, so you're married then?" And I'm like, "No, I just like using the word partner."
Yeah, it's, oh, you're married then, and it's like, oh, is it Zael? Like, okay, cool, thank you, appreciate.
But yeah, I think it can get. I think it can get really hard, and I think it get complicated. But I think the thing is people have to need to open their eyes to what is actually happening and actually discuss. I think a lot of people have got a lot of preconceptions, and at the end of the day, if someone who's I say bi plus, anyone who's in the bisexual, pansexual, anyone who is
Was it polysexual when you're attracted to several but not?
Yeah, and there's all the different sort of, if you're attracted to more than one gender, that sort of group, no matter what combination.
Yeah.
If you say to them that, oh, when they're in a heterosexual relationship, that they are straight now because they're in a heterosexual relationship, technically it's by erasure, and that is something that within the community we do not accept, and that should be really called out when it comes up in conversation, because you're raising someone's whole identity because you think being in a heterosexual relationship makes someone straight. No, they haven't changed. It's just that they're now in a heterosexual relationship, but they're still polysexuals, they're still bisexual, they're still pansexual.
I think it's a very interesting topic. We had that topic a couple of times, but also, you know, having a difference between sexuality and romantic attraction, because I think that's very different, and I think that a lot of people might, might think that it's the same thing, but actually not. But actually, well,
I'm doing the face of, oh, I like this. Carry on.
but I think a lot of people say if you're romantically attracted to a certain gender, then you have to be sexually attracted to it, and vice versa. If you're sexually attracted to one gender, then you have to be attracted to, that specific gender romantically. And I kind of disagree with this, because I found that I've had a chat with a lot of people who, for example, would like to have sex with several genders, but would only consider dating a gender, like one specific gender, or vice versa.
There's difference between homoromantic and homosexual.
Yes, I completely agree. So
it forms your identity. Forms your identity. Romantic attraction, sexual attraction change makes you up your identity.
Also,
I'll blindfold you.
Sorry, one more time, one more little thing, because I thought that
I want to blindfold you. It's so hard to blindfold you.
Also, I
Can we use it as a gag?
Shut up. I just had a really quick question for Pastél, because it kind of came up with the whole partner thing. With you getting married, because I kind of find it interesting. Marriage is like lawfully kind of a binary term between either, I think,
That's a
husband,
good point,
husband,
yes.
wife, wife, or husband, wife at the moment, because thankfully, gay marriage. But like, what plans do you have? Did you think about what will happen with you as a couple? Because I don't know how it works with non-binary folks.
That's a hard question, but a very interesting question.
For us, marriage, by definition as well, is the unionizing of two people in love, and that's what we are. We're in love, and basically, it doesn't matter, particularly about our pronouns and stuff like that. Well, my pronouns and stuff like that, because I don't know. It's a weird one, but it's less the unionizing of a man and a woman, and more the unionizing of two people who love each other greatly. And the reason why I proposed to Scruff is because I love her, and I will never stop loving her, and I have loved her since day one. And it was just the time was right, and I needed to propose to her. And there were other reasons involved as well. The reasons, like, I was going to have to go back to university, and I was trying to prove that I am wanting to be in a committed relationship with you, even by long distance. And so I will become your fiance as a dedication and proof of my future commitment to you, that I am not going anywhere, even if there's like hundreds of miles in between us. So that's the way it works. And when it comes to our marriage, we already decided that things like our vows aren't going to be traditional at all. So the thing is that Scruff wants to get married in a church, because she has Christian. She is Christian. She was baptized. She doesn't fully practice it, but it means a lot to her, and it's important to her. And I can get that, even though I'm not Christian and I'm not baptized. So, but even though we're getting married in a church, it doesn't mean we're doing it, traditionally. It's like she said to me, the vows will be changed and stuff like that. So it will be less under the eyes of God, more to the eyes of the people who are going to be at the union for both of us. And so, it's going to be great. And I don't think my pronouns will affect it much at all. I mean, of course, it probably will just a little bit, but it'll barely take away from it at all. And I don't mind, frankly, because even if they were to misgender me and call me a male or he or him, I wouldn't care as much because I would be in a place with my partner and about to be getting as close as I can to them. So yeah.
So, by the way, I don't think that Thumper should be invited to the wedding because they're already crying, and the wedding is like a
Don't
couple of
start.
years away.
I'm not joking you. You started off the conversation, and I literally had to take off my glasses, get the blindfold, and start
mute
dabbing my
yourself.
eyes, and mute myself
There
because I
was
was about to
sobbing.
sob. And then you started at the end again and said something, and I'm nearly crying again, and I don't know what it is. It was something, and I'm just crying. I'm crying again. Oh God, I don't know what it is with me. Anyway, we're gonna
They
go.
call me the emotional one.
I'm the emotional one.
Yay! So anyway,
I'm
last
gonna go
part of
on
our
okay.
whole show for the day is our classic game of taboo. So you have it's not 5 minutes anymore. You have 2.5 minutes to explain 10 words
Right.
to me while I'm blindfolded, and you have
Best
to
as I can.
explain.
The wet blindfold.
Yeah. God, I have to do you on your tears.
God,
So-
the blindfold
and
is
obviously-
soaking wet with tears now.
And obviously, I have to be blindfolded, so I can't see the words, and you can't say the words while you're describing them to me.
Please
Right.
throw me a
Well,
box
I'll
of tissues.
try my best
Yeah.
to give a definition.
And if it's a phrase, then you can't use. So if it's, for example, ice cream, then you can't use ice or cream in it. You have to,
Okay.
you know,
Don't think there is any of those words, but we'll have a go.
well, ice cream.
Ice cream's it.
Oh, damn it! Why?
Not Kink and Fetish. Actually, unless you've got a fetish for
I'm
ice cream.
I'm a strong, independent man, and I can blindfold myself. Thank you very much. Anyhow, I can't see anything. Why are you waving stuff at me?
This is so much fun.
I lit. For fuck's sake.
Are we ready to go though? Yes, I'm there. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm
I'm
ready.
going to start the timer.
Oh, I forgot how stressful this is. Okay.
Now. It's yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh,
Up.
I don't know. A person who oh my god, it's so difficult. A person who is above.
Is a what?
Is
A
above.
person who's above
Done.
others.
Yes.
Can we turn off the
Um,
music?
A impact with either a hand or
Oh,
a
spanking.
panel or other thing. Yeah. Multiple people that
Ollie.
can love each other. Yeah, there we go. Comes from a cow.
Milk.
No?
So what's that one?
Well, it comes from a cow.
Skin.
Milk.
Oh,
Oh, leather.
Cow skin. Yeah, there we go. Another way to eat, I guess.
Munch.
Yeah. I'm gonna do a sentence which blanks the word out. Is that okay?
Yeah. That's fine.
Act 1, something
Scene.
3. Yeah, that's it. Can be incorporated with kink.
Fetish.
Yeah. What I am in terms of not my gender, but the other thing.
Pansexual.
Yeah. Male predecessor.
Daddy.
Yeah. Opposite of bottom.
Top.
Yes! Woo! With 40
I like-
seconds to spare. It was the
I do
end
like.
one.
Oh god.
Oh,
Oh,
you're
blimey.
right. Welcome
I
to the
do
world.
like to when I tease people about me being a sub and them being a dom. I like to call them my progenitor. That's always a nice one.
That's always
Hello,
lovely.
progenitor. Oh, father. Hello, father. How are
Oh,
you
dear
Male
doing?
father.
predecessor.
Oh, Lord
Yeah.
Fluffington.
Lord Fluffington, how are you?
At least something's
How
come
may
out.
I serve you today, sire?
At least something's come out of today, hasn't it? Lord Fluffington.
Oh my god.
I'm going to mess you after to go. Lord Fluffington. Anyway, I think that is the end of that show. I'm going to do a quick.
Yay.
Woo!
Are you much overtime? Oh, just a little bit.
We're a little bit over, but it doesn't matter. We've had a great time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank Pastél so much for coming on today.
Thank you.
It's been really nice chatting to you. Really nice having a conversation. Haven't spoken to you in in ages. It feels like,
It's
and
rough to get some
I mean,
interaction.
I haven't
Yeah.
really spoken to Pastél in forever. It's fine. Last time I saw you in person was at Birmingham Fetish Weekend, where we bumped into each other in Spoons.
That is
Spoons.
wow.
But
That was ages ago.
completely randomly because you weren't going to Birmingham Fetish Weekend.
But they
So-
did go in the end.
What?
They did go in the end. They helped do the lights for the
Oh, really?
Yeah,
thing.
that would have
Oh.
been November of 2019.
No, that was March.
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 2020.
Remember
Oh,
that-
March.
March
It was
2020. Yeah, so it was really funny because, well, at that point, I don't
We've got
think.
to finish the show.
Yeah, but at that point, I don't think it was like that. But yeah, it was really funny because I didn't expect you to be there, and then suddenly we were just sitting there at the table waiting for my halloumi fries, and you and Scruff just walked by, and I didn't know that Scruff was in Birmingham. I was like, "What are you doing here?" Okay, I'm finished.
Yes, so thank you very much, Pastél, for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I'd like to thank everyone, the 3 people that have survived today. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for dropping in and out if people are listening or people are watching after the stream. Thank you very much for listening to us ramble on for over time. Thank you very much for Club F.O.D for letting us have this platform.
As always.
And supporting us in doing the live stream. If you do have any events that you would like to do personally, please go to @Club F.O.D on Facebook and Twitter, and @Friends of Dorothy. Oh, I'm doing this well. Friends of Dorothy on Instagram. Message them and let them know that you would like to do an event. It could be a disco night. It could be a karaoke night. It can be another talk show that you want to do live. Whatever you want to do, just don't copy us. Message Club F.O.D. They're really lovely people and they'll help you do it. Also, thank you to Animagi, who
And sorry, Club F.O.D is starting a radio.
they are
too.
starting radio. We're going on the radio next week, I think.
Yeah, so we'll be also on radio.
God help the radio. You know, is it? But who's killed? What's this radio? Go to the radio starter.
Don't sing that, you'll get copyrighted.
Oh, what's the song?
God
What's the
damn
song?
it.
What's the song?
Video
That's it.
killed the radio star.
Yeah, it's Thumper and Zael called the radio star. That's what it'll be. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you, Club F.D. We will be on the radio. Thank you next week. Voice break. Thank you to Animagi for helping do this. Gives time, effort.
You mean us?
Yeah, I like doing.
You're thanking Animagi as if it wasn't us that set up
I
everything.
know, but thank you.
Thank you, Zael.
But there are many people behind the scene that also
yeah.
help us to actually make Animagi work and Animagi happen. And we've currently just got a new person to help do our education as well. So it's been really nice, and we're a growing team, and it's really nice to have support of other people. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you to Thumper too.
Thank you,
Because I thanked myself, so it's fine. I'll thank you too.
Oh, that's fine. Just thank me. Thank me, please. All the stars and Moses. Hopefully we'll see you next week. Next week we're unsure what we've got next week.
I don't know. Well, we're trying to sort out Kit and Play, but potentially it might
Also
change.
else. We're trying to see who's available, and obviously with lockdown it's quite hard. But hopefully we've
It
got
might
some.
just be us. You might be
Yeah.
stuck with us. I'm sorry.
What would we do? Anyway, we'll let you enjoy the rest of your evening. Have fun. Stay safe. Enjoy your evening and enjoy the rest of your week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.